Welcome to my journey. We're going to take this and train it to compete in this. Yes, you heard right. This fat, unfit, middle-aged man is going to compete in the Cairns Ironman Triathlon 2024. That's a 3.8k swim, 180k bike ride, and a 42k run. Well, hopefully run. Starting 60 weeks out, you can follow me and see if I've got what it takes to make it all the way. Every week we'll have a new episode and you can see the highs and lows, all the tears, all the blood, all the sweat, and there'll be lots of sweat. I hope you join me and enjoy this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you do. We'll see you soon. Oh, and make sure if you see me out on the trail, say hi, give me some encouragement, or something like that. Why am I doing this? The biggest reason for me is to be accountable. I want to make sure that when I commit to this, because this is not the first time that I've said that I'm going to do the Ironman. 10 years ago I was going to do the Ironman, and for reasons that weren't actually in my control then, I wasn't able to go through with it. But because jobs changed, things happened, and I was quite a way into training for it at that point. In the intervening 10 years, well, I've put on a lot of weight, got a lot less fit, and since we've been back in Townsville, I've been promising myself that I would do it, that I would get fit enough to do the Ironman, but even bought a ticket a couple of years ago and never went through with anything. So the big reason for me is to keep myself accountable. If I put this out there in the public, much harder to go back on yourself. You can't just pretend that it doesn't matter or whatever. It's going to make a difference to making me be accountable to myself. Hopefully, it will also keep me honest. It's hard. One of the things that people don't think about, I guess in their general lives and at all, is about being honest with themselves. As I was saying, so as you get bigger as a person, you don't see yourself the same way. It actually gets really hard to see yourself the way that other people must see you, because your perception of yourself is distorted, so you just don't feel like you're as big as you are. And so this part of this journey for me has been honest with myself, because I don't feel as big as I am. It's a bit like getting older, I guess. You don't feel as old as you are. So a big part of it is why am I doing it? Because I want to be honest with myself. And hopefully, this is not the reason I'm doing it, but hopefully it inspires others. I know what it's like to be overweight, I know what it's like to be unfit, and I know what it's like to want to be different but not be able to magically do it. So hopefully this inspires some other people to make a change in their life. So what's the plan? What am I going to do? Today we're doing the Strand, the hill here in Townsville, Castle Hill to be exact, and it's a bloody hard climb. I've been doing this now for 4 or 5 months. First started, really could barely get up there at all. Now do it quite comfortably, but had a couple of weeks off seeing the first grandchild come into the world, and now we are back into it. So I really want to make sure that everyone I guess part of the reason too is being inspiring for people. I want to try to show, you know, us almost 50s that you can change your life. You know, it doesn't matter how long you've been like this, how long you've been in bad shape, you can do something about it. That's the key. Don't let the maybe someday be the only thing you ever do. So this is the start of the hill. No way I'll be able to talk my way through this first part because I'm pretty much rooted by the time I get to the first part here. But this is a beautiful track, and as horrific and hard as it is to do, it's beautiful. It's a long way to the top. I've done it so many times now that I feel like I know every little step. But my aim, part of the reason for doing this, is to get to the point where I can run all the steps. I'm a fair way from that right now. Way up the hill now. And yes, it's steep. And yes, there's still a long way to go. But it's beautiful, that's for sure. Now we are up to the fun part, and by fun I mean horrific, terrible ordeal. 430 something steps, all one after the other. Soon you have to ask yourself, when you're doing these, is why? What makes a rational person do this? 100 steps down, 330 something to go. Won't be long and I'll be running this. Not sure how I'm going to video that, but we'll figure that out. We are almost to the top now. Doesn't feel like only 2 weeks since I last did this. Feels like a lot longer. You can see some helpful person wrote the numbers on the steps. I'm still not sure if it was helpful or bad. There we go. Into the steps. On the other side of Castle Hill, this is the easy part of the workout, and again, amazing views. It's certainly a good hill to get a good sweat on. So, why am I doing this? Why not? That's the answer. Why not? I need to make sure that I do this. I don't want to be a fat old person. No offense to fat old people, but I don't want to be one. I want to make sure that I can't get out of this easy. You know, sometimes you've got to put yourself in something that you can't get out of unless you finish. And that's one of the reasons. Whether anyone wants to watch a fat almost old guy sweat his way through this whole process? That's a whole other question that I can't answer. But it's, you know, hopefully I can impart some wisdom, tell a few jokes, make you laugh, make you cry, and have a bit of fun along the way. And if everything goes to plan, in 60 weeks, give or take, I'll be competing in the Cairns Ironman. Hopefully fit enough to complete it. And I hope you join me on the entire journey. Like, there's probably a lot of people out there going to be looking at me, just maybe thinking I'm crazy for trying to do an Ironman, starting in the shape that I'm in. But I'm a big believer that you got to set yourself big goals. Got to give yourself something that you're going to strive for, not just, you know, for years I've talked about getting fit, getting thin, but that's just it's not really even a goal. And it's not about getting to a certain weight. For me, it's about getting into a state of mind and a level of fitness that's going to see me through to a very happy old age. I want to really be able to enjoy my retirement when it comes, and I think a big part of that is your physical fitness and of course your mental fitness. And I think the two are, you know, they go together. I don't know how I'm going to get used to talking into a camera. I feel like a bit of an idiot, but I'm going to keep working on it, get comfortable, because this is like a therapy session. Everyone still stares at me. One of those crazy people. That's me. Well, that's the first YouTube recorded workout over. Many more of these to come. And that's enough. Go and get a drink. Well, I'm not really sure how this is going to work with the sound, but we'll see. So, this is my first ride for a week or so, but feels good. Hoping to do about 40 k's today. The body holds up. So let's hope I can make it. I don't know if this will work, but I'm going to do a bit of a run. My theory with running is really very simple. Run as far as I can, walk for a bit, then run as far as I can. No rocket science here. So And obviously first target is being able to run 5Ks. Then we're going to look at the bigger picture. But it's a beautiful place to run. Down here on the strand, I think everyone thought it was going to be cold this morning. So there's no one here. That's about halfway. I don't know how good this video is going to turn out. But averaging about 8 minutes a kilometre, running, walking. So that's okay. Gives me somewhere to go, doesn't it? Somewhere to go. Well, this board is really what I'm going to do. And I will put, actually I'll put this up there better than that. But basically all I'm going to do, you know, I've got about 60 weeks until the Ironman, and I'm going to ride, run, or walk. Don't let me exaggerate too far. I can't run 5Ks yet. Can barely get through a kilometre without having to stop. So I've got a lot of work to do in the running department. I haven't even started swimming yet. So basically going to start doing those three components of the race on a regular basis each week. Throw in there the walk up Castle Hill, which is what I've been doing for last 5 months, to try and start this process. So this is not the very beginning of my journey. It's actually kind of a few months in. And one of the things I've noticed in that time is that even though I've lost a little bit of weight, it is harder to be, it's hard to be accountable to yourself. Again, as I said before. So I'm gonna swim. I've got a bit of a plan in terms of when I'm swimming, when I'm riding, when I'm running, when I'm doing Castle Hill. And the idea is up until August this year, at which time there is a small triathlon here in Townsville. I will be training to get myself ready for that. The Townsville triathlon's only 1,500 metre swim, 40K bike ride and a 10K run, so it should be a good, and that's in August, so that'll give me a good indicator of where I'm sort of at by then. I really haven't set myself any weight loss targets, although I guess, you know, I feel like I was at my optimum when I was about 85 kilos. So, you know, there's a lot of work to do in that space, but that's not what I'm basing this on. The truth is that, and I, you know, have never, I think only my wife knows this information, at my heaviest, I was just a smidge under 145 kilos. And right now, on the scales this morning, I was about 134. And so I've lost a little bit to start with, but a long way to go, 50 plus kilos to go. So I really want to make sure that keep myself honest in those things. I don't even like to talk about my weight, to be honest. It's confronting. So, but I'll be talking a lot about that as we go through the process. So as I said, 60 weeks approximately till the Ironman, and we'll be doing a countdown as part of these videos. I'm going to post every week on my progress. I'm going to share what I learn along the way, talk about how it's affecting me, how I feel better or worse, all of that sort of stuff. And share a bit of wisdom along the way as well, hopefully. Hopefully I've got some wisdom to share with people. I'm sure I will have some by the end of this. And hopefully the final part of it will be actually competing in the Ironman in Cairns next year, in 2024. So that's what this is all about. Each week I will go through more and more details about the plan, how it's going to work and all of that sort of stuff. Share more information about me and where I've been and my journey along the way with my weight and all of those sort of things. There's a lot more to unpack in that whole process, believe me. But I really want to, I can't do a dump in the first video, so I want to just sort of set the scene every week, at least a half-hour video running through what I'm at, what I've done, how I'm going, all of that sort of stuff. And then really want to make sure that there's something for people to take away in this process. So hopefully that's helpful. Tried to have a little bit of a script there. Hopefully everything worked, and I really hope that at the end of the day, everyone can either use this to inspire them, or use it to help them in some way, or maybe use it to help someone in their life who needs to be inspired or do something about their weight. Let's just stick to the bit that I need to do. I want to get fit, and I want to do it in a way that will certainly help me, but might be able to help others as well. Cut! Well, I just finished a 5K walk. Let's not say run. I ran probably a third of it. Just a smidge over 40 minutes. So in theory, if I could do that for the distance of a marathon, I could make it in the right time. So just to wrap up this week, first week, just some numbers. So I'm, just for the record, so everyone can do their calculations if they want to, I'm 176 centimeters tall. As I said, at my heaviest I was around 145 kilos, about 134 this week. I will keep you up to date on those numbers as we go along. I'm even going to do a pretty little graph so everyone can see my weight in relation to the time over the next 60 weeks, and the distance that I can do for each element of the triathlon. So how fast I can run, how far I can ride, how fast I can swim, all that sort of stuff. I'm going to map all of that on a nice little graph so that we can keep a track. And next week I will go through break the numbers of the triathlon down, how far, how fast, the break cutoff times, all of that sort of stuff, so that you can be fully across what needs to happen for me to actually be able to complete the triathlon next year, the Ironman. So thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you next week.